Reverend Steve, keeping it simple, we're going to be in Revelation 1 today, and we're going to be in verse 17. And we're talking about the seven churches, and we're explaining, I'm laying the foundation that of a dual prophecy. And this is one. This is the easiest one to see. It's talking about, Jesus is talking about churches in Asia Minor 2,000 years ago. And he's not only talking to them, he's talking to us today. And how the church is going to be diversified throughout the world today. And how many churches might be on the ball and many are farther away. And as we know, denominations, that is the case. There's many that are very close to the Lord. And if you notice, when we get into this and get into the different attributes of these churches, the ones that are usually persecuted are the ones that are closest to the Lord's heart. And that's something you have to pay attention to, especially today. And as we live in this country, we're not persecuted too much. So where would our hearts be? I think we're in the Ephesian church. When we get into that church, you're going to see that we've left our first love. We've put all the other things about God. We love the Lord, but we put all the other things about God in front of Jesus. And I think that's a great attribute that to tell where we are as Christians in this country. We're very comfortable. And that's what happens to a very comfortable Christianity. And we'll touch on that too, that some of these areas or some of these churches were in very rich areas, and some were very poor areas, and some were more persecuted than others and more accepted than others, just like the world today. And this is basically a blueprint to what the church is today. And it's really quite beautiful, and we're going to get into this. So let's finish up chapter 1 today, and then we're going to get into the churches tomorrow. So let's go on. So we're going to be in verse 17 of Revelation 1. When I saw him, this is John speaking, I saw him, I fell at his feet as if I were dead. But he said, with his right hand on my, let's read that again, I'm sorry. I'm not going to cut that. I fell at his feet as if I was dead. He laid his right hand on me and said, don't be afraid. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I died, but look, I am alive forever and ever. And I hold the keys of death and the grave. That's amazing he says that. So this is the part I wanted to really touch on. Write down what you have seen, both the things that are, listen, now happening, and the things that will happen. So this is not only talking about, when we look at the book of Revelation, it's not just talking about the times that were, it's the times that will be. And Jesus is the Alpha and Omega. He's saying that. But I believe also this is talking about the church. The churches that he speaks about, the seven churches. He's not only talking about the seven churches of Asia Minor, he's talking about the future church and where the church will be before he comes. Because he gives many warnings to those churches, and we're going to get into that. So let's finish this up. This is the meaning of the mystery of the seven stars you saw in my right hand, and the seven gold lampstands. The seven stars are the seven angels of the seven churches, and the seven lampstands are the seven churches. So he's laying it out what the vision that John is seeing. He sees Jesus with the seven lampstands and the seven stars. And now he's telling John what the interpretation of those are. And he's telling him that they represent seven churches. And we're going to get into those churches tomorrow, and we're going to break those things down. And we'll see you tomorrow. God bless.